Good morning, everyone. Here we are today in the shop. We're going to do a little work with a foot treadle, sharpening stone. As you can see, we have a round stone that's activated by a lever and a rod. And I'm spinning the stone in water right now. There's a water catch basin underneath that is fairly waterproof. I need to get some more pine pitch and repitch some of the corners after it's dried out after today. Now I'm spinning the stone in the water because we want to keep this stone lubricated. Smaller stones such as hand sharpening stones, we use a fine oil. And the reason we do that is to prevent premature wear of the stone, because running it dry will definitely shave a little bit more stone off than we want. With the water in it, what it does is when you sharpen, it takes the little fine particulates that come off your edges and it sheds them off in the water below. So you don't get a buildup in the stone and it doesn't prematurely wear. So today we're gonna hit a J.M. Warren axe. This is a little earlier. J.M. Warren was built in 1870. It was a 4-story hardware store in Troy, New York, and it closed its doors in 1960, which is a heck of a run. Now J.M. Warren, this is a later head. J.M. Warren did not make their own axe heads. They were much like Sears and Roebuck, much like Montgomery Ward. They would contract out. They would have somebody make the implements for them, and they would have their emblem embossed in the sides. Now this one here is a little more ornate. Very beautiful. I love these. And this one is a little bit older. As the company grew in later years, they went to the smaller symbol. Okay, now this ought to be fun. I'm going to stand over on this side, so hopefully you can get a better idea of what I'm doing here. I will stand over the stone. It's much easier to operate it such as this. Now you have to get a rhythm going. You only have to use basically your ankle and foot. It's almost like a bicycle, but you don't use your knees and legs. Now this stone here has been around a long time, and it does have some premature wear in the center, which, you know, whoever was using it probably just ran stuff in the center of it. They might have been sharpening chisels or whatnot. But with the stone, you have to use the whole surface area. You start on one side. As you can hear, that little skip, that's where the stone has a little bit of wear. Now the only area we want to sharpen is the edge down here. That's it. And it takes a little bit to get the feel for it, but once you get the feel for that angle, you can run it pretty flat on the stone. And these will do a beautiful job. This is the fine sharpening stone. My heavier sharpening stone is there. And like I said, like I've mentioned, I will get some pitch and I will repair this catch basin, so it doesn't lose water. And slowly across the stone, from edge to edge. Now when you see the stone come around with the water, you can see how the water is picked up by the stone, by the little wake. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. That's actually pretty good. That's not too bad. And it will eventually hone a razor's edge, such as the other J.M. Warren. I have a razor's edge on that one. And that took quite a bit of time. I sat here for quite a while doing that one. All right, as a treat today, we're also gonna hit a little bit of, put a little bit of an edge on a 1700s felling axe head that I just picked up yesterday. But before that, anything can be sharpened on these stones. from hatchets to knives to scythes, sickles, anything with an edge that you can hang on to and you can manipulate over this stone can be sharpened on these stones. That one just happens to be my little favorite plum Boy Scout hatchet because, of course, I was a Boy Scout and still am an assistant scoutmaster, but not Eagle Scout and all that. It was a great experience. I learned a lot of stuff as a Boy Scout from all the adults, which is important. If you want to learn something, sit down with an old timer. The old timer's got more stories than you can shake a stick at. Mother Goose ain't got nothing on an old time farmer because they've seen it all, done it all, and fixed it all. Probably more times than not in the field with basically rudimentary tools. Okay, now this one. Oh, I want to go the other way. There we go. This stone will obviously rotate either way. I like it to be away from me. Yep, good. And you can hear the little bumps in the noise of the axe head going across the stone. Like I said before, that is little chips or whatnot in the stone itself that cause that. But over time, they will wear flat, which will probably be past my lifetime. One edge of the stone to the other. That's going to come out beautiful, and I will use this. As soon as I got home with it yesterday, I found a nice stick out in the back. Draw knifed it all down so it's nice and smooth. Had to take the hewing hatchet and cut a triangle in the head. For the head, excuse me, on the end of the stick, and then we pound it on with a copper hammer because we don't want to use anything that's going to damage this head. Copper is malleable. Copper will not damage the steel. I don't have the head all the way on yet, but that's another work in progress. So there we have it. 18th century felling axe, J.M. Warren out of Troy. And I don't know if a lot of people in this area really know it, but there was a huge amount of manufacturers of steel tools, iron tools, implements in this area. Troy, Ballston Spa, Cohoes, Albany. You had Collins, not Collins Legitimus, but there was a Collins and a Davis in Cohoes that used the underwater waterways to power their mills. And they made a lot of implements. And I do have one of the Collins axe heads. You had Isaiah Blood out of Ballston. His whole big giant complex was called Bloodville. It was just a massive place, and unfortunately I don't believe there's anything left of it today, which is pretty sad because that's pretty cool history. And in Troy you had Bird and Iron Works. So there we have it. A little bit of fun today, a little bit of water, and I think it's time to go out and play. I hope you all have a good afternoon, and maybe next week we'll have a video. Maybe I'll cut down a tree with this. We're just not sure yet, but we'll figure it out. Have a great week. Thanks for watching.